It's on the bow, a dream come true. That is some moment. Aguero!
Welcome to Sport from the Bleachers, results and opinions for the fans, by the fans. Another massive week in the world of sport, boys. We're going to touch on a few headlines in a sec, but I guess the same thing seems to be happening every week. The Dragons are shit, Para is shit, and Arsenal have bottled it again, getting done. For anyone who wants to have a crack at me, the intro and the headlines write themselves. Boys, how are we?
Yeah, good
mate. Yourself?
Good. How are you?
And the Panthers are just back on top. They want to ride them off every week. Mate, top.
Luai pulled his finger out, eh? Had a crack.
Brisbane Lions and Danaher. My bet's on because the mock got off them again. So seriously, the headlines, the intro and the headlines write themselves every week, lads. So just keep on being you. No,
mate, before we start, mate, how was your Mother's Day? What'd you do? Hey?
What did we do? We had football, mate. We were at football. Lisa was at football all day with Ollie, but we had dinner the night before and breakfast. So up there with husband of the year, I am, mate. So don't stress. It's not.
No, I don't know about that, but all right.
You're trying to get some points here, are you? You're telling Kim to listen to this.
I'm just she can hear me. It's for another night out. Just keep going with it.
We talk about you. We talk about you.
What did you do, buddy?
Mate, I had them over here for breakfast on the Sunday. What did I do? The old UK style breakfast: bacon, eggs, beans, bit of cheese mashed in with it, croissants, and even though that's French, but whatever. It was good. It was good. That was nice, mate.
How many blokes on a football team? 12?
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
All right, boys.
It was good, mate. It was good. Anyway.
Good.
Again, happy Mother's Day. We didn't say that last week, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Boys, before we get into it, bit of a headline throughout the week has been, I guess, a person on this show that we've criticised pretty heavily, but Paul Kent. And I guess we have to talk about it because it's a talking point around how he treats, I guess, people of ilk in the media, and we're calling them athletes, I guess, but he takes them to task. And I guess from his point of view, a lot of the time it's been guilty till proven innocent. And look, we don't condone anything on this pod of domestic violence, so we will be sticking up for anyone like that. But I think he needs to be taken to task a bit, boys. I think his journalist mates have gone to ground and trying to brush this under. It's pretty serious what he's up for.
Yeah, it is
definitely.
It's interesting. Like I completely agree with you, Hedo, and it's just, I guess you could say it's a bit ironic coming from a guy that he's smashed Penrith a few times in his journo
about culture
days.
And things like that.
Yeah, and culture and all that.
He used the word respect a lot.
And yeah, obviously you can't accuse someone till they're proven guilty. But if what's said is true, and it's not a good look. But I think the biggest thing for me is the obviously is NRL 360, and the show comes on, and there's little talk about it. And the Matty Johns show actually came out and I guess backed the NRL players. Because if it was the other way around, it would have been out of control.
Yeah. They did that on their Facebook page.
Yeah, so it's quote poor form from the NRL 360 not reporting the story that they would run flat out if an NRL player was accused of the same thing. ... Can't argue that.
Nah, that's 100%. And you know they would do that if it was an NRL player, or even if it was a representative of a club of name.
Yeah, I was about to say, JB,
they would run. It's not just a player.
a
If
board
it
member.
was, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, look, I understand from their point of view, they're trying to protect themselves and the show but yeah, they should be at least getting somewhat equal, not just doing a one-liner like Braith did at the opener. But I'm just saying it's personal reasons. But yeah, it's a bit poor from my point of view.
From my point of view, I think you're both right, and I do, and I think we all get where NRL 360 and Foxtel are coming from, right? That there's not a lot they can say. I think what sort of gets up people's goat is, I guess, the way it would have been a headline for 3 nights, right? It would have been the back front page of the Telegraph, and we've seen it before, mate. We've seen, and harshly or what, a lot of NRL players have been accused of that, and rightly probably should be front page news, right? Because it's not the right thing to do. But to just stand a bloke down and brush it under the carpet, I just think I've seen today, it looks like they're standing him down till next year. So the court date's not till December. So he's stood down indefinitely by Fox. So at least we don't have to listen to him on NRL 360. That's all.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right.
I can't.
You could, yeah, go, JB.
Just a quick one. Just a quick one. I don't think he'll go back on that show.
Nah.
That's my.
Nah, I agree.
Guilty or innocent.
I think he's damaged.
I think, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everyone has that like answer to everything. If he criticizes anyone, there's always going to be that.
That's right.
Stigma now, you know.
Just go have a look at Josh Dugan's Instagram at the moment, mate. The bloke's going bonkers on it. And rightfully so, man. He's been pumped for drinking a vodka cruiser on a bloody roof.
Yeah.
You know, like
exactly.
Todd Carney's career fully ruined for doing something silly to himself.
That was Kenty, mate. That was Kenty who got them both.
100%.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying anything.
And all that is a cruiser and pissed in the fucking toilet.
Yeah. Who hasn't done that?
It's exactly.
No, it gets rid of pimples piss. Anyway, go on.
Mate, you should piss on your blisters. You know that. Bit of advice for our listeners and viewers out there. Piss on your blisters. I'm telling you, it works.
You'll be brand new.
All right, boys. We've had I'm going to throw out some feedback I've had. We gave out our Origin teams last week, and 3 of us basically had 20-odd players for a 17, right? I thought we did okay. The hottest topic that come out of it was the fullback, and I don't know why. I know Dylan Edwards is going great guns, but pardon me, a lot of people criticised us for not having Dylan Edwards in there over Tedesco, and I can see everyone's point, and I'll get my point of view out first. Tedesco's captain. I think he still deserves to be captain, and for me, he'll be man of the series.
Oh, look.
He's never let New South Wales down.
The thing is, you need to. He always fronts up for Origin, and it's not like he's playing absolute dog shit and he's not getting a game for the Roosters. Like, he might not be, front and centre in the full-back position in the limelight at the moment, but you can't take Dylan Edwards into a game that he's never played before. Yes, he's performed in grand finals, as we've seen, but yeah, it's a different ball game, isn't it?
But it's a big call to sack your captain. Freddie's had him as captain for the last 4 or 5 years, or however long it's been, and he's performed every year. I'd hate to say to be in the top 3 of nearly every year he's played in the Brad Fittler medal as player of the series. I would have thought.
It's not fucking Queenslanders, is it? Starting this fucking shit,
mate. Hey, there's a lot of 2-headed people that message us on Instagram and social media. Let me tell you, half of them have 11 fingers and 2 heads.
Yeah, you can't. Like, if he's captain, and he has been, and he's won the series, and he is by far the best player for the Roosters. He's probably one of the best players for the Blues, but I can understand everyone else's point of view. Dylan is playing better than Tedesco at the moment.
100%. I don't disagree
Right.
with that
But
at all.
he might be playing better, but he's not a better player
Yeah.
in that, especially in that arena.
Mate,
Well,
until he stops
you don't know.
performing.
You don't know until
Yeah, that's
Dylan
right.
has crack. So,
But for me, until Tedesco stops performing at Origin, it's the only time you can start to question. Like, if he has a horrible Origin series, then I think next year we can start to question it. But I don't think it's questionable yet. Boys, I'll ask you before we get on to the Panthers Roosters game. I think we all had Nico Hines as 6.
Yeah.
Has Luai changed your opinion on that?
Yep. Yeah, he has, mate. Oh, yeah.
Look.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'll rephrase
for me,
that.
no.
I'll rephrase that. Has it given Freddie a headache to just carry one hooker, one proper hooker, and either have Luai as the 14 or the 6 who can play hooker as well?
I would say yes. Like my 6 is still the same, and Nico deserves it. But yeah, I do agree that's probably the headache he has now. Like, what does he use? And it might be better, like if you had Luai coming off, because he could play either way. If there's injury to Nico or there's an injury to Appy or Cook, yeah, that is the headache. And look, he did play himself into that conversation deservedly on the weekend. But it's kind of like, where's that been all year?
Okay.
I don't know whether
I'll ask you this then.
Has it been that talk during the year?
Yeah. So
he's done it.
During the week.
So does Billy Slater pick Kalen Ponga off one game as well?
No.
I'll put 50 on it. I'll put 50 on it. He's their fullback, the Queensland fullback.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. He'll get HIA in the first
he'll get smashed.
minute and a half.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, it's a great conversation, and no doubt, Kenty, RIP from your media career, but he would be hating the fact he couldn't comment and rip Luai to pieces at the moment. He'd be hating it. The poor bloke. He lives rent free. He lives rent free in Kenty's head.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I'll give one thing to Kenty. It's been reported, isn't it? Like that's his missus.
Yeah,
isn't he like
missus.
65?
Yeah, no,
And she's 33.
He's doing well.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Well,
All right, boys.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who's not doing well. Anthony Griffen.
Griffen.
Like he's got them packing.
Mate, long time coming. I feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for him because I think it's come from the board. Obviously, the board's a bunch of fucking old codgers, and
it's been hung out to dry for me.
He has, mate. He has, but I don't know, mate. They need to change up the whole club. But unfortunately, I agree with the sacking, but I feel sorry for him at the same time. It's the only way they're going to be able to be honest, man, I'll be honest here. I honestly think Dragons will come out and beat Roosters this week. I honestly do. And I think Zach Lomax will score a try. And I reckon it's going to
Scotty, do you reckon that...
I think you're on drugs.
So do you reckon that we've talked about it before, it seemed like the team's not playing for the coach, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's the case? Or if they could say, I think Jason Rolls is leading the, he might replace him, who knows? But do you think that it would be a big change, like if they play for the coach, or it literally is that they just need a better roster behind them?
No, I think they just need to play for the coach.
So you reckon their roster's
that
good
don't
enough?
Deserve to be there. Not good. I think it's. I think it's a decent enough squad to have a crack at the 8. To have a crack at the 8, not get fucking wooden spoon where they're looking like going. Mate, to be honest, I reckon. Oh, fuck, mate, I could talk about the Eels. Like Dragons side's probably are on the same par level as the Eels, but I think both teams should be higher than where they are.
Yeah,
on paper.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
But we're losing to two different things here. We Dragons for me aren't playing for the coach, whereas you guys are trying your heart out for the coach, but you're just doing yeah, they are. They're trying, but they just can't complete. They're just doing silly errors, like they can't catch a fucking ball.
All right. Well, I'll put. Let's keep that there, right? I'm gonna pose this to you. Canterbury were able to sign. Gus was able to get Serraldo. They're sitting 15th, right? And are in the midst of a rebuild. But you can see what they're doing. Yes, you can see light at the end of the tunnel for Canterbury. Yeah, we agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All they had a full coaching change. Gus got rid of a heap of players. What's St. George doing, and what's Parramatta doing for that as well, right? So St. George have sacked a coach.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring in an untried coach for a split board. Tough gig for mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Massively tough.
So does the coach change? Does the coach change the attitude of the players?
Well, not in that sense.
I think only temporarily.
Not in the Dragons.
So
temporarily.
So again, is the board just putting in a coach, say, of Jason Riles to appease the fans? Because is it the board? Is it a back of house problem at St. George?
It's a Band-Aid.
For me, it's a Band-Aid, mate. It's a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid.
They need someone that has the voice of like a Gus to say, "Hang on, you can't just be going fucking this. It's never going to work. History says it doesn't work."
Yeah.
So, and look with Para, look, the weekend result was I kind of expected, to be honest, with Mitch out and whatever, but it is concerning that one player can do so much, make so much a difference. But yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard. Like we haven't, and not having RCG, I think we have the side and the cattle to do it. To be better than we are.
But let me ask you, has there been some recruiting mistakes on Parramatta's behalf?
I don't know if it's recruiting mistakes or the market value of players holding us back and fitting them in the cap. Like, we were stuck. Have to let Reed go. We had to let Papali'i go. And even back to Semi, fucking hell, like they had to let them go. It's just all the cap thing. The market wants what the market wants.
All right, let me ask you then. Let me ask you about Parramatta. And the talk in the media and the talk on all the forums and the platforms is Josh Hodgson shouldn't be starting. And Young, you don't have to comment. I know we comment every week about Hansy, but is Hodgson starting because he's a higher paid player?
Yep. At the moment, I think they're really clutching at straws all the way from up to a board level to say, look, we need to be justifying his role in the team.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
And that thought process is backed by his contract value and then what he's taken up in the cap space. There was a Young, and I think you sent it through. There was a
you want
little
me to try and get it up?
meme. Yeah, it was a
stats
points for and against when Hodgson on in versus Hansy.
Yeah.
And Hodger was minus 20 something, 27 points, and Hansy was plus 60 something. So
yeah.
And look, you do notice the difference. I feel like the back end of the year, you'll find that it does change, and Hansy's the prime hooker. But at the moment, it's purely a contract value decision.
So I've got that stat in front of me. So that was an Instagram post by a Para fan forum page of points differential since Hands debuted. Josh Hodgson minus 27, Brendan plus 63.
and
massive and less minutes, obviously.
yeah, exactly. And it's just generally rule of thumb a 50-30 split.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
then the one game he played 80 when Hodgson was injured, they beat the Dogs by 26.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, fuck. What you?
Numbers don't lie, you know what I
No,
mean? And
stats don't lie, numbers don't lie.
yeah.
One thing I want to ask, Justin, while we're on the
Yeah.
topic of para, is Moses out. Obviously, Jake Arthur comes in.
Yeah.
If it's any other coach, is Jake picked?
Dude, that's a big question, Justin. I'll try and answer that before you have a think, and I'll add to that question: is there better, but Scott? Is there better in reserve grade?
In para or
in para?
Yeah, well, look, probably not. Probably not. But, mate, to me, I'm sorry, like, respect to the kid and everything, he's not first grade material for me, man.
No, and
He's not. But, you know, circumstances, you know, you can't just fill it with a forward.
Yeah,
And,
I know, but it's just
and they're not, and yeah, you're not going to throw, like I know we talked about, like if Mitch is out, let's just put Hansy there, but they're not going to do it that way. It's hard.
Can I say? I don't think it was his problem on the weekend that they lost as well. Gutho, did Gutho have soap on his hands? I think it was an all-round concerted effort on the weekend, not just.
I think it's a bit of both. I think if you had a bloke that could probably kick,
Do you know what,
mate?
You
can't bomb a ball, man.
But
that was the most frustrating thing for me watching the game. Like fifth tackle, kicks it nowhere near the height that he should be, and allowing the boys to get up to put real pressure on, you know. And that's.
But you got to remember his reference point is Mitch Moses, right? Who is probably the second best halfback in the game, and who kicks. Not long ago, he kicked for over 1 kilometre in a game, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reference point. And if we're judging Jake off Mitch, if you put Jake into the Dragons or something like that, then he's probably not. The gap isn't so far. So yeah, it's hard for him.
I understand that. Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of the negatives. Far out. Let's just get on to some happy shit.
Oh,
you know? Dragons and Para are going to be shit every week, so we can bring up those negatives every week if you want. Penrith.
Yeah, looking good.
They're just back doing what they're doing, I suppose.
Yeah.
I want to give Scotty Sorensen a rap. I know we said Luai struggled without kick out, and look, he probably did, right? And we're not going to lie about that. Sorry, he looked a lot better with Sorensen running off his shoulder.
Yeah, he did. God, I tell you what, I've won some money off Scott Sorensen over this.
You love him anytime, don't you?
Oh, mate, he's such a good anytime try scorer, that fella.
Yeah.
No, he's gone, mate, and yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see. I hope he gets more minutes, to be honest.
Fisher Harris and Leota back to just their best, just bashed, completely and utterly bashed them. And Cleary just put on a clinic, just put on a dead set kicking clinic for me.
Yeah, I was super confident that it was going to be a 13+ game, easy. I didn't think it'd be that by that margin, but yeah, they're.
So what's up with the Roosters?
He's got it.
Look,
let's. Are you going to say it? I'm happy to. I love the bloke, but Brandon Smith looks like he's not even. He's running on one leg.
Before we go any further with this Roosters thing, I just want to bring back something. I'm not going to refer to myself in the third person, but I think if we rewind back to the first episode, Premiership.
Are you in the mock? Are you in the mock phase or JB phase at the moment?
Nah, mock. I'm pretty sure. I did say if the Roosters can pull it together, they'll be hard to beat.
They're beaten by 40 twice.
Right, I reckon we need to clip that up. I reckon I've done that. So sorry.
Wait,
Sydney Roosters.
We're gonna start getting messages from coaches saying, "Tell the mock not to talk about it."
Or the bottom sides tell them to talk about it.
Yeah. Can we start? Let's just talk more about the Dragons, mate. They're fucked. Mate, does it come? Oh, look, it's pretty. This might sound a bit slack, but does it come down to the coach? The team hasn't changed. Like,
are we going back to? Are they playing for the like? Are they playing for the coach?
Hell, mate.
Like, look, they look all over the shop. To be honest, they and again, I'm not sure if it's Penrith putting a clinic on or it was the Roosters probably not up to scratch as well.
Nah, the Roosters haven't been up to scratch, mate. I'm confident Dragons will beat them this week. Seriously.
Wow, it's a massive call.
Oh,
Don't get the mock involved. It could be a draw if the mock gets involved.
I know it's not my multi this
silent.
week. It's not my multi this week, but put your money on it. Trust me.
All right, moving forward, Rabbitohs just keep on ticking. Clinical over the Tigers. Tigers held in there for pretty much 80 minutes, but Latrell just does what Latrell does and pretty much put him on his shoulder, put the Rabbitohs on his shoulders and got him over the line.
Yeah, I think them and Penrith, you'll just see they've just kind of hit their strides and they'll just kind of in cruise control now and
timing it for Origin period for me.
Yeah, yep.
Getting all their players into top gear now. I don't want to, right, because he's a flog, but Ricky's turned the Raiders around. I know we're going to talk about how they beat Para, but he seems to have turned them around. They're actually playing pretty good footy, playing tough footy again.
Do you know, this is off the back of fucking the Jack Whiten thing.
Yeah.
He's playing unbelievable.
He could nearly play Origin.
That's the thing. Him leaving and him saying, no, I'm not playing rep footy.
Yeah.
He's basically just playing out of his skin. And he was the difference on the weekend of beating us. Like, kind of wish he didn't freaking move because we would have probably, but he's playing out of his skin. And Ricky's getting up and about.
For me, it's a guy who wants the ball in his hands to win the game, and Para didn't have that player that wanted the ball to win the game. For me,
nah, and this is where my bit of criticism with Dylan Brown. Like during the week, he put his hand up voluntarily, saying, "Yeah, I'm going to have to lift a bit more to cover Mitch," and he does it in spurts. He can't do it the whole game. So
not consistent. Yeah,
nah.
And on the back of Bellyache signing another year, he could coach till he's 100. The Storm just put on a clinic against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Harry Grant plays 80 minutes. Harry Grant's time in his Origin, him and Munster are time in their Origin run to perfection. Harry Grant plays 80 minutes, 120 metres run from dummy half, just putting on a clinic down there.
I hate both those teams, and I was so happy to see Storm beat them. Because I've been saying it all along. Brisbane to me is like the Arsenal, mate. I'm telling you, mate. They're gonna. I'm telling you, they're gonna bottle it.
Say, can we just clip that up? Can you say that again? Take the heat off me from Arsenal fans. What'd you say?
No, I'm telling you, Brisbane are going to be the Arsenal of the NRL. Proper bottlers, mate. They'll bottle it.
All right.
They're too young, no depth, mate.
All right. Well, staying on that, Adam Reynolds knocks himself clear out. He's not playing this week. Broncos are paying $3.10 at home against Penrith. Enough or juicy odds?
Look, they won't. Yeah, they won't get near him. No.
Penrith could $1.37.
Be a 13+ game.
You reckon?
If anything. It'd be closer to that than closer to the Broncos winning.
Yeah. All right. Now, I guess the other game I guess the two other games for next week we probably want to talk about. Dragons Roosters off with obviously new coach coming on board. We know what usually happens, but Scott, I want to, and to both of you, I guess, Roosters being pumped by 40. Coach being sacked from the Dragons. Could be 0-0. Could be the shittest game of the week.
No.
Joseph Manu's out as well.
Joseph Manu's out, yeah.
Fantastic. No, get your money on the Dragons, lads. I'm telling you.
All right, South's Para. Moses back. Are you any chance, JB? We said it's a big month. It's a Carlton-type month. This is what for Para.
South's
Look.
home ground is Allianz or
Yeah.
Sydney Football Stadium.
Allianz and Indigenous round. The boys have been up for a week.
That doesn't help, does it?
Yeah.
Look, to be honest, I said it last week. If we did drop the game to the Raiders, it'd be freaking hard to make the finals now. And I reckon, I had that feeling during the week. I think, it's going to be an uphill battle for us now. So, look, hopefully we can go out swinging, but it's going to be tough.
Tough game to win.
And then I guess, yeah.
Do you think he needs to make some changes? Can't keep the same side.
No. Obviously, we talked about the 9 changing, but I just think if we just need a full fit side. Like if we have
Sean Lane's gone. Sean Lane's gone for 4 to 6.
So, and then Reg has gone for a while. So if we have a full fit side, then we're good. But at the moment, we're just Band-Aid solutions everywhere.
Yeah. And then I guess the last game, 2 of the oldest coaches in history. It's probably an average age of 2 or a combined age of 200. Dolphins versus the Storm. Storm versus Storm. Really, it's the Redcliffe Storm versus the Melbourne Storm. Dolphins surprising people. I still can't see a Dolphins win here with how Melbourne are travelling just right at Origin time.
No, I reckon they'll go close.
So
they'll just be up for it,
Yeah. Well, mate,
Melbourne,
boys. All right, but before you change our tips in the tipping comp, who are you tipping?
Storm 13+. I'm hoping the mock.
All right, lads. Could be a tough week for both you boys again with Dragons and the Eels, but anyway, it is what it is, and I guess Broncos and Panthers kick it off tomorrow night. We're recording on a Wednesday, so they kick it off on a Thursday night. For me, should be a good start to the week. Anything else you want to add for the NRL, boys, before we move on?
No, I want to hear about this soccer here, or the football, whatever you want to call it.
It's all happening.
Before we get onto the AFL, JB, it's a great thing, right? Looks like Man U, Liverpool are clutching at straws to make the Champions League. We're clutching at straws, but we're a point behind Man United with a game in hand. United have a game in hand. They cannot lose. United cannot lose, Scott. And I know your sphincter's tweaking as we speak. It's just like,
it's very tight. It's between 4th and 5th. Man U are 4th, Liverpool are 5th. Top 4 Champions League playoff. Well, Champions League in bed with Champions League.
Yeah.
It's neck and neck. Man U have
a horrible goal difference too.
There's 3 games left for Man U. Like I said, we've got 1 game in hand over Liverpool. Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, Fulham at home. The advantage there's 2 games at home.
Yeah.
Out of the 3. So, look, I'm quite confident we'll get it done. I am quite confident. Hedo, I can see you smoking, you prick. However, there is bigger news. It's the relegation battle that we've been talking about last couple of weeks, and the promotion from the championship that we spoke about last week. There's been some games played. And the championship, like we mentioned last week, it goes to a playoff. And we were on Sunderland, Hedo.
We were on Sunderland.
We were on Sunderland. We were on Sunderland. And unfortunately,
Sunderland have Arsenal it.
Proper bottle, mate. Proper bottle. Cheap formula. Proper cheap formula bottles, mate.
That's good from you. That's good from you, actually.
Yeah, I'll never have more beers on Tuesday, Wednesday whenever we do this. Not bad.
Congrats on the debut.
Let's talk the viewers through it. So, last Sunday, Sunderland, Luton. Sunderland up 2-1.
Yep.
Coventry, Middlesbrough, 0-0 going into the second leg.
Yep.
Luton beat Sunderland 2-0.
So, on aggregate, that's 3-2.
3-2 on aggregate.
on aggregate. So Luton go through. So Luton, never been in the Premier League, are into the grand final against, well, we won't know till tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Middlesbrough or Coventry.
Middlesbrough or Coventry, depending on the result. That final's played on the 28th of this month.
So, JB, it's talked about as the £100 million game. That's what it's worth for the club. £100 million.
£100 million, mate.
Do the players get a bonus? Or?
Yeah, mate. Luton Town, their stadium is smaller. Mate, it's smaller than the Panthers' home ground, mate.
Mate, it's as big as your backyard. Your backyard's probably bigger.
I'm not kidding, mate. I'm not kidding. So it's absolutely massive. So yeah, one to watch. Looking forward to it. There's Champions League games coming up. There's a massive game on tomorrow morning in the Champions League. Man City at home to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Currently 1-1 from last week. I think the winner of that goes through to the final as well. So, I can't see Manchester City losing tomorrow morning with Lad Boy up top.
Nah, and Inter put on a clinic against Milan. I don't think it's enough for me. The winner of Man City, Real Madrid win the Champions League. We do need to talk about the Premiership, like the Premier League as well. But Man City win on the weekend. They win the league because Arsenal couldn't get over Brighton. So they've basically.
Yeah, that's right. It's proper bottled. Again, tell me, Arsenal fans.
How many bottles can you fit into a
Arsenal? Can I know one of the boys that I'm referring to, JB? Is that all right?
Yeah.
He's a big listener. Lukey Parker. How are you, mate?
Here he is.
if you're driving on down south,
he'll be driving off the road now. He'll be absolutely screaming into his radio.
Probably going to run over a couple of people on his way home, but.
Well, he can lay off me for a bit now. It's not me who's giving it to you.
Mate, Lukey Park is one of the biggest Arsenal supporters I've ever come across. And
one of the greatest blokes there is, by the way.
Absolute legend. Champion fella, but unfortunately his team's fucking shit. So, with a big voice, he's going to fucking smash me. Anyway.
Look how tough you are behind the screen. You are tough. You are tough.
Mate, I've got my Hello fans white light on tonight. All over
it. All right, so stay tuned for that. It's a pretty big, I guess, weekend or couple of nights, before the weekend around the football. But look, let's hope Man U bottle it so a few Arsenal fans can give it back to Young'un.
We'll take calls, Luke. It's all right, Lukey. Take your call.
JB, you had a week on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
And the Tigers decided to turn up and dust the Cats. What is the dead set story?
Fuck.
Do we blame Cornsey? Do we blame Cornsey?
Yeah, maybe he's the mock. He's the fucking mock, I tell you.
Are you a mock talking about a mock?
Oh, here we go. Right, they just dominated. There wasn't they just looked like the Richmond of old, really. They haven't looked like that this year. But surprised us all. So,
and look, back onto Cornsey, Torino still had 28 disposals. Like he's probably got another Brownlow vote in that, no doubt as well. So can't be outside the top 150 players. Just to recap last week.
Nah, definitely not. That's just, we said last week, definitely not out of the top 150. You'd argue the top 50. But, yeah, look, he just shows up every week. There is that criticism over his kicking, like how accurate his field kicking is. But
mate, give it to someone who can kick, which is exactly what he's doing.
Exactly. He's giving a Dusty who kicked 4 goals. So
yeah. Young'un, what's doing with the Swans? We write the season off. I don't know. I know there's a lot of injuries, but
yeah, go on, mate. Go on.
They should have beaten Freo at the SCG.
Yeah, they should have, man. Yeah, I don't like using excuses as, injuries and all that sort of stuff, but, you should have depth and whatever. But
They
so
are
they,
highlighting that,
yeah,
injuries. They're saying, I think I saw a
it's all I'm
headline to
reading
say
as well, mate. Yeah.
they're gonna have to bring this very sick Franklin in for the injuries and stuff. But you're right. They should have beat Freo, and it was at home, wasn't it? Yeah.
because Freo aren't the best at the moment. Freo aren't going well
No.
either.
No, they're not. No.
No, it's dead. Yes, you can forget about it, in my opinion.
JB, I want to ask you about Melbourne. Are they sneaking up on everyone?
Melbourne.
Sneaking up on everyone in regards to they're not being spoken about as much as they were in their flag year.
Yeah, I reckon that's exactly where you want to be, to be honest. Look, I think that they're not down here. They're still respected. They're not like thinking, "Oh, it's not their year." But look, this week, could be game of the round on Friday night. They play Port Adelaide in Port Adelaide, and Port Adelaide on a tear at the moment. This could be if they come out and they put Port to the sword by a fair margin, I think you'll find that, they'll
Can
be
you
back.
give us a bit of background on Van Rooyen from the Demons? He was taken as their first draft pick. Didn't play last year. Has he been a change? Has he helped them improve by just kicking the ball in long and getting the small forwards around him?
I just think that it changes it up. It changes the focus from the opposition and how they set up around Melbourne and stuff. So he's just been another, focal point of them, and it's just another headache.
Yeah.
And it does change a lot when you do have that.
So do they beat Port in Adelaide?
No, look, I reckon Port might get them.
Really?
Yeah, I reckon Port might get 'em. I reckon Port they're not. This is not a fluke what they're doing. I don't reckon.
Okay.
I reckon they'll get him. Close game. Hard to say, but I reckon I'll get him. And the only advantage would be the home crowd. That's it.
Yeah, right. Can you say again that Danaher's horrific? Can you just say it again?
Mate, I'm not a fan,
Mate, just keep saying it. Just dead set. Because I've got him to win the Coleman and the Lions to win.
Yeah, look, what do he kick? He kicks 6.
Kick 6-1, mate.
Nah, look, he's not bad, is he? He's all right. Yeah. Nah, look, he needs to. Look, he's doing what he needs to do, and he's doing what he needs to. He's getting paid for. So, hopefully for the Brisbane fans it lasts, but I'll have to wait and see. But that Will Ashcroft again,
Mate.
he's going to be something, and he'll probably be a rising star this year. You can probably just circle him now, but yeah, he's going to be a future captain, I reckon, and hard to stop.
All right, before we get on to Carlton, and Collingwood, I want to touch on Adelaide. Are they now the real deal after spanking St Kilda?
No,
Or
I
are they
don't
still
think
a
so.
watch? Are they still a watch for you?
Yeah, no, I think they're not the real deal. They'll be kind of middle of the pack, but the way Sydney started the year off is such a Ross Lyon style coaching. It's very defensive, but the problem is, if you don't have plan B, C, and D, then that play can be manipulated, and it's starting to show that way a bit. So, the start of the year, the scores, if you look back at the scores against
St Kilda,
they were very low, and now they're starting to creep up. And St Kilda are starting to fall down a bit.
And the Texan, but what about the Texan? Big Tex Walker just kicking them from just shelling peas, mate, from anywhere.
Yeah, well, he does that. He's been a good player for his career, but at this point of his career, he'll just do that.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a year and just keep holding on for 1-year contracts. But yeah, he's getting on. But yeah, he's good. He's good when he's on. He's on. He just
All right, your Pies.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Dacos had 41. Was he the best player on the field? Because I think Mason Cox went pretty close, if not the best player on the field.
Yeah, I would say Cox or DeGoey. Top three: Cox, DeGoey, maybe Dacos. But look, we talked about it again, and we'll talk about it each week probably. But that so-called blueprint doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, there is no blueprint anymore. I think we can say that. Yeah, there's no blueprint.
That's right. No.
The kid's a freak.
look, and Cox, that's probably his best home and away game he's played in his career.
Yeah.
Not the best game. The prelim
it was
prelim against
best
the
home and away
Tigers
game
in 2018. Yeah, but look, again, Dacos just dominates. But it's good to see Jordan DeGoey doing what he's doing. Like, he's starting to really show his potential. Like, he's kind of grown up a bit in his mind. So yeah, it was hard to stop, I tell you.
True Pies fan. Listen to him, youngin.
I know.
Could he?
Mr. 13 teams himself.
Right, pick the date. He just said they're hard to stop. They could lose the next two.
Oh.
What, Carlton?
Cool. All right. Good segue. Good segue.
Carlton and North.
What about the segue from the mock? Fair income. Great segue. Carlton, we said it was a big month for him, and we put Carlton on the map for a big month this podcast last week. We said they need to win at least 2 of the 4 games for the next month. Yeah. They haven't started well.
No. Now the big difference, the big driving force is Charlie Curnow. If he's kicking goals, like he kicked 2 on the weekend, he needs to kick, 4 to 6, because they just don't have that big, like that having that big power forward down the forward line suits their style of play. But that's the difference. And if he's not on, unfortunately, they're not on. Yeah, look, I think
the next few matches is pretty tough.
Yeah, so
pretty tough.
For me, they've got Collingwood again. So we'll repeat. We're going Collingwood, Sydney on a Friday night at the SCG, into Melbourne.
Massive.
Yeah.
They might not win the game there, right? Serious.
Yeah.
Well, let's give them one, right? Let's just give them the Sydney game, right? Let's just give them Sydney, right? From now. Yeah. It's still a fail for me if they win 1 from 4.
Yeah.
Because that shows they can't match it with the top teams.
No. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
They're just not there, I suppose. If they can't do that, they're just not there.
So, JB, is there chat in Melbourne around that? Is it Voss as a coach? Is it the board again? Is it the players? I guess the listeners and the viewers a bit of feedback around, because Carlton are massive in Melbourne, yeah?
Yeah, massive, yeah. Look, at the moment, like during the week, it has been the Voss thing. And it was the same chat when he was coaching Brisbane, right? We all know how much of a champion player he was. And from all reports, he's very smart in terms of how his knowledge on football. But there is that chat coming back about, well, just because you're a champion footballer and stuff, it's just a whole different ball game if you're a coach, So there is that a bit. That's the main chatter at the moment. I don't think there's any there's no whispers about we should get him flicked, but it's just more like, is he the right fit for them going forward, I suppose.
For Carlton.
Yeah.
All right. Can I ask, are we possibly going into the most boring game ever in AFL history on the weekend? Hawthorn versus West Coast?
I think they'll score for each other, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you reckon they're going to get the Oz Kick kids to have a kick for them?
No, it's getting, to be honest,
a participation award.
In all seriousness, could this be the most boring game in AFL history?
It wouldn't 100%. Go. Look, it's getting a bit. I can't remember there's always years, majority of years is always like one team that's just not quite cutting it, right? And that could be, injuries or just the list isn't right. But I don't think I can't remember the last time there was 3 teams like Hawthorn, North, and the Eagles
That are that shit.
that are pretty much walkovers. Like I can't remember the last time this happened.
Mate, Gold Coast have gone to WA and beaten them by 60. Gold
Yeah.
Coast.
And over there.
In
know what I
WA.
mean? Yeah, it's a bit pathetic, to be honest. It's like it's a race to the fucking wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like I don't understand the cap of payments for these clubs, right?
Hmm.
How is it so different in the winning margins? Like when they're getting pumped, is it because they just can't afford the players, or is it just?
Yeah, look, it's a bit of both. Like it's hard because that they might, West Coast are obviously good they won the flag in 2018. They beat the Pies. If you have like a full cap, say then, and then you start to lose one or two of your better players due to age. The problem with AFL is that similar to NRL, if you're not a destination club, right?
Yeah.
Then if someone can see you going down, then it's hard to, encourage a top 10 player to go there. So then over the years, you start to just go down until there's a big reshuffle of the coaching
And they traded
staff.
it, and they did trade away a lot of picks for Tim Kelly too, didn't they? To Geelong.
Yeah, because look, that was a massive failure, to be honest. Like when Tim Kelly was at Geelong, he was a freak. He was unreal, right? But look, again, he's a WA boy. His missus and young family, they wanted to go home. Fair enough. So Geelong made it happen, and it's worked out for.
It's worked out for Geelong.
But yeah, ever since he got home, it's like he's got comfortable, and it's kind of the opposite to the Jason Horne-Francis story, right? Tim's played well. It's like he's played well just to get a ticket home.
Yep.
And then he's relaxed, as opposed to Horne-Francis is like, I'll play better at home. So, yeah, things like that do cause issues for clubs. So,
all right. So next week, Port Melbourne, Friday night, one of the bigger games. You think Port could do the D's over there?
Yeah, I reckon it'd be close. I reckon they might just get them.
All right, Carlton, Collingwood, 3:20 Sunday afternoon at the G. It'll be full.
Yeah, I reckon there'll be 90,000.
Oh,
yeah.
Collingwood by 50.
Nah.
20.
40.
The mock. He's in again.
Get on Carlton. 40 plus.
throw your fucking house on it.
Please gamble responsibly. Shit. Bet against the mock. That's responsible gambling. JB, anything else to add? Anything else in the JB news file around AFL?
Nah, mate. Nah. That's it, I reckon.
How's my man LeBron? Still winning?
Mate, the NBA is out of control at the moment. I'm all aboard.
Fucking hell. I did say Lakers wouldn't get through the Warriors, but we'll move forward with that. So the Lakers, the Lakers are through to the finals, the conference finals against the Nuggets.
This is the best. The Mock's going to have his own segment soon.
Look, the Lakers, they surprised. They surprised a lot, getting through the Warriors. But yes, they got through the Warriors. They're into the conference finals against the Denver Nuggets, who are favourites in that series. They won the first game.
Denver should win, shouldn't they? Denver.
Yeah. Look, fuck. Don't ask me. I don't know if I have a clue.
Nah, say it, because I want the Lakers to win.
Nah, look, Denver should win. Denver should win. And
everyone put your money on the Lakers, mate. It's done.
Miami got through the Knicks. to meet the Celtics in the conference finals. And yeah, look, Celtics should get through there, and it should be a Celtics Nuggets final series.
All right, I'm big time on Lakers Miami. I'm going that. I'm going Lakers Miami. If you're going that, I'm going.
All right, that'd be a massive final series though. Fuck. But
Fuck,
look,
they play some
this
games.
is
Fuck, they play some games.
yeah. Well, it's 82 games in the season, and then there's 7 games.
7 times 1,000 final series.
round.
Yeah.
So at the moment, like the Celtics are $1.91, the Nuggets $2.70, Lakers $5.50, and the Miami are $15. So I think that's pretty much very accurate. That's how it'll play out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while we're giving out odds, Mock, your multi this week.
Oh yeah, multi of the week. So
now, just before you start, viewers, remember you can go opposite and give us some feedback if that opposite bet actually wins.
I'll be an example. For the listeners. All right. I'll put it in the story.
Well,
yes, please.
All right.
I've gone on early in the week multi. The first games, the first game of the NRL and the first game of the AFL. So I've just gone. So Broncos take on the Panthers. Got Panthers head to head, and Dylan Edwards to score.
Yeah.
And I've got Port Adelaide versus Melbourne. I got Port Adelaide to win, and Jason Horne-Francis to have 20 or more disposals. So that's paying. So it's paying $10. Nah. It's paying $10. So I'll put 100 on it. So it's $1,000 back. So we'll see how that goes.
No, I just don't know about Port Adelaide winning.
That's not it's Adelaide Oval. It's Adelaide Oval Friday night.
Okay.
It's just coming from the Mock. He's actually thrown himself under the bus tonight about how Mock-ish he's been.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't. every time we bring up this comment, I'm thinking, oh shit, I said that a few weeks ago.
It just comes naturally to you. It's just natural.
All right, now you're a gun at the Mock, but what you also are really good at is JB's joke of the week. So finish us off, will you?
All right. Well, this week actually, I've got this is from a listener. He wants to get amongst it. So this is a mate of mine, Dave.
Is your uncle?
No. It's a bloke who used to work with actually. Name's Dave. He said, "No, I want to get a part of this."
Dangerous wants in.
Yeah, Dangerous Dave wants in. All right. Once again, joke of the week, sponsored by Whittlesea Mowing. Your lawn, garden care needs in northern suburbs of Melbourne. Give them a call to help you out.
Serviced by the Mock.
That's right.
No mower.
So, a couple is asleep when their doorbell rings at 3 a.m. The wife shakes the husband and says, "Honey, there's someone at the door." The husband, irritated, gets up, opens the door to an obviously drunk man. "Can I help you?" "Can you give me a push?" asks the drunk man. "Hell no. And besides, you're way too pissed." He slams the door shut, goes back to bed. As he gets into bed, his wife begins to lecture him. "Don't you remember that time when we were stranded on the side of the road and people stopped to help us out? You should go outside and help that poor man out." Realizing this, the husband gets dressed, heads to the door. Opening it, he realizes the man's left and yells out, "Do you still need a push?" In the distance, he hears a reply, "Yes, please." "Where are you?" To which he hears, "Over here on the swing set."
Dangerous Dave. Well done, Dave.
You got it. He's done well there.
That's very good, Dave.
Well done, Dave. Now, listeners, keep the feedback coming. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and all audio podcast platforms. This does go around the world. So if you want to send in a joke for JB's Joke of the Week, you'll get a mention, just like Dangerous Dave there, and you could go viral. So please keep a lookout on our socials. We're getting pretty active on our socials, so give us a like, subscribe, do all that stuff, boys. Good week. Footy,
Beautiful.
sport, everything coming up. So it's getting colder. Yeah. Footy season's up and about. So have a good week, lads.
You too, mate.
Have
Thank you.